Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to let's knit and we're going to talk about yarn placement for where your ball is when you're going to work. Now I'm a right-handed crocheter, and when I work is that I like all my yarn to be on my left and furthest over, so that when it's coming through my hands like so, is that because it's on the left, so it's going in that direction, the ball is that it's coming into my hand and it's not falling off. So if the ball was in front and I was pulling on the yarn, it would actually pull right out of my fingers as I was going. So even though I was doing tension, the ball would then be pulling this out of my fingers and I would continuously drop my yarn. So when it comes to knitting, you have to consider of how you're sitting and where your ball placement is. So for me in knitting, I'm right-handed. I want my ball to be on my right. So, and I want it to be in the right in a certain position that is going to be leading to my hands. So if it's in the wrong position here, what happens is that when you go to wrap this in your yarn in your hand, if it's in the wrong position, it will constantly fall out of your hand as you're going to wrap. So some people, when they go to do this, they just put it onto their knitting needle and then they just use their fingers and they wrap like this. Okay, and other people, and what I'm going to be doing in today's series is that I'm going to be wrapping it around my fingers, and I'll show you how to do that. And if it's in the wrong position, what happens is that it will constantly fall out of your pinky here depending on the ball. So if I left my ball on the left here, so in this direction, when more yarn is needed, it's going to constantly then pull out of my fingers. It'll be an annoyance. But if it's on the right here, what happens is that when the yarn pulls into my hand, so let me just put this in my hand like I had before. So if it's in my hand and it's pulling from the one side, when the new yarn is coming, it's gonna have tension coming in this direction, therefore it's not gonna want to fall out of my hand because it's pulling into the crease of my finger here. So if it's in the other side, what happens is that eventually everything will fall out. Even though it's crossing over here, it eventually get looser and looser. So you want to consider your ball placement when going to do your knitting, because that's gonna be your thing. So what I would do is recommend that you start your ball straight out like this and then keep moving it to the side as you're going. So it's the hand that's feeding the yarn onto the needle is the side that the ball is going to be on, and just keep moving it and eventually you'll find your spot where your knitting ball needs to be in order for it to constantly not fall out of your hands like so. So this is a little tidbit for yarn placement, and it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.